Guys, the video I've brought to you today is about my leaving cert. Here I'll share my personal experiences and advice that I hope will help you or help you to help others. At the end of 4th year, you'll start to choose your subject choices. And although this may seem like a big decision at the time, you'll find that many people will change along the way and still do well. Of course, we must all do the mandatory subjects, Maths, English and Irish. These may seem overwhelming at first, but you'll break them down and power through them. In my case, I was exempt from Irish, as I had lived out of the country for the junior cert. Despite the decreased workload, I did miss the Irish culture. I chose Spanish because I've always loved learning new languages, and it was an interesting challenge for me to begin in 5th year. Most universities require a third language, so if languages aren't your thing, just go with the one you did in primary. I chose French. If you have an interest or think you may choose a science-based degree, make sure you pick a lab subject, such as biology. I found business was simple, yet resourceful in the real world than other subjects. I'd done design communication graphics in my previous school, and I really enjoyed it. The people in my new school seemed like they knew much more than me what they were doing. The only thing I knew about cat and can was how to spell them, and I was much too shy to ask for any guidance. After 2 weeks of trying to fit in with the class, I decided I had to give it up and try something else. Not only was art the most appealing subject on the list of choices I had to change, but it was also a hobby of mine and I really enjoyed it. I knew that the next 2 years were going to be stressful. Half of me was a bit frightened, but the other half was positive. I knew I could do this. The first day back at school is daunting yet exciting for everyone. I was especially nervous, but soon enough I found some friends who were very supportive and nice to me from the first day. You may have noticed that your friend group may have changed from 1st to 6th year, and that's okay. As long as you have 2 or 3 good friends to laugh with, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. I seem to have found myself surrounded by people I perceived to be more intelligent than me. Of course, there's no way to measure someone's intelligence fully based on school exams, but at times I did feel inferior. I thought to be clever, I'd have to have an interest in maths, science, history or physics, and get high points. I know now that this is certainly not the case. But at the time, I kept overthinking it, and even though I did work hard and get similar grades, I couldn't help but feel like they were better than me. September flew by, October exams were approaching. I was optimistic despite not knowing my career choice to motivate me. The maximum amount of points you can get is 625 with 6 subjects. Just by catching up on notes in school, I managed to get just about in my midterm exam. I then developed a love for the subject business, and I thought that I may consider it as a career. I began to work really hard and started looking in careers in psychology. I had a strong interest in crime, and because of this, my grades went up because I was more motivated and I knew what to do. Beginning to believe I'd been neglecting my creative side, I started to have second thoughts. I researched film, French, English, and Spanish. The possibility of staying in a job that I don't like for the rest of my life was frightening, so I had to ask myself the question, what did I actually enjoy the most to make the best out of my life? Surprisingly, this wasn't difficult to answer. I'd always loved art, and I guess I've been hiding it at the back of my mind and denying that I actually might be able to do it as a career. I'm very excited to start a portfolio course in Dublin, where hopefully I'll find out more what I want to do with my career. So if you're starting 5th year or going into 6th year, pick up a book, write a timetable and start studying. Even if you're in 6th year and you don't think you've put too much work in yet, it's never too late to start. I always thought the most important part of doing well in your leaving cert was to just study as much as you can. But how can you study if you're not well rested, or if you're not happy because you haven't been spending time with your friends? It's as vital to take a break from the leaving cert life as it is to study. Don't make the next 2 years more difficult than it needs to be. Go out to the disco. Go play your favourite sport, fall in love. Meditate, it'll relax you. Eat healthy, but also don't feel bad for eating pizza. Most of all, make sure you get a good night's sleep. And good luck in your exams, you'll do great.